So, welcome to the Foxes Biscuits Stadium here in Batley for this Betfred Championship match between Batley Bulldogs and Featherstone Rovers. Big day here at Batley today for the Rovers as the Rovers line up the same as they did last week. Connor, it's going to be a tough ask. Rovers kicking downhill first.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big opportunity for us to rack up some points early doors. But we know Batley are a tough team, especially when they play at home. So we've got to be professional. As you said, Jaffa unchanged 17 from last week, so getting some consistency in there, which is key. And hopefully we can be professional, get the job done, and leave Batley this afternoon with 2 points.
Yeah, and we'll have a quick run through of the teams, Connor. Our commentary position is not great today, but we're getting there.
We've just been fighting with the coaches, so sorry if you could hear that while we were talking just then.
Anyway, I'll quickly run through the teams. The Batley team at fullback, Aidan McGowan. On the wing is Joe Burton and Jack Render. In the centres, Elliot Keir and Oliver Greensmith. At halfback is number 6, Ben White, and on loan from Bradford. Is Tristan Ott. Luke Blake is the 1 prop, and 10 Luke Cooper on the other side. Alistair Leake in the middle at hooker. The second rowers line up Lucas Walsh and Dane Manning, and Brandon Moore is at the back of the pack today for Batley. On the bench, Niall Flynn, Robbie Butterworth, Jack Billington on loan from Huddersfield, and Emmanuel Wayne on loan from Bradford. The Rovers team are the same as last week, as you say, unchanged. Connor, Caleb Akins at fullback, Connor Wynn and Daryl Alforts on the wings. The centres, Gareth Gale and James Glover. Halfback partnership, Ryan Hampshire and Ben Reynolds. Gadwin Springer and James Beckett are the starting props, with Jubb the starting hooker. Brad Day is at 11 in the second row with Clay Webb, and also Danny Addy is back at the back of the pack. On the bench for Rovers this afternoon, Connor Jones, Nathan Wild, King Vuni Ayuar, and Seletaliki Akawula. That's how the Rovers line up here at Batley, Connor. It's a big hill, as you say. Rovers going downhill in the first half. Hopefully we're settled now. We've sorted out the location where we are. And let's hope for a big game today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we speak about the hill, Jaffa, but it's important to not speak about the hill and just focus on the 80 minutes of rugby ahead of us. Traditionally, we've always struggled in this ground in recent years, so we've got to get off to a good start. Last season, I think we fell to a 16-0 deficit early doors here, and we made it really difficult for ourselves to get back and get the 2 points. We managed to, courtesy of a late Caleb Akins try last year. But you know what? We want to make life a lot easier this year for us, and getting off to a big start is key.
It certainly is, and obviously John Keir now coaching at Batley, come in and changed the fortunes a little bit recently, but is a coach with a lot of experience, isn't he?
He sure is. I mean, we were lucky enough to be there when John was giving the pre-Wembley chat to the boys. Obviously, goes way back. Apologies there for the hooter going off right at the side of us. Jaffa was frightened there, but no, just going back to John Keir. Yeah, we know he gets a team up for games. He's done it throughout his career. He'll have Batley up for this one today. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he certainly will. Well, the teams are out on the field. The sun is shining here at Batley, and we will see how the game goes. Rovers kick in as we look at the field from left to right, down the hill. And let's see how we get on today. A big 80 minutes in the context of the Betfred Championship. So we've got Ryan Hampshire kicks off a long along the ground kick-off, which is a little bit strange. Great first tackle, though, by Rovers, putting the Batley man on his back. tough to come up that hill straight away. Like Connor said, we're not going to talk about the hill as much, but you can't not think about the hill.
No, you can't, but what we've got to control is what we can control, and that is just be disciplined here early doors as Batley try and come up the hill. You know, we've got to be squeaky clean and don't invite them up, because if we trap them inside the 30-40 in this first set, you know, instantly we'll be on the front foot when we get the ball. So that's the key, Jaffa.
Yeah, great defensive work then by Rovers. Batley 30 metres out from their own line, bringing the ball up the hill. Luke Cooper with a new, what looks like a very new red scrum hat on today, takes it to the 40. So Batley kick in from their own 40 with Ben White. He kicks it to Alford, takes the ball 30 metres out from the Rovers line.
And that's what I was saying there. We've got to be squeaky clean defensively in that first set. So we're starting this set, you know, approaching sort of Batley's half already, just a couple of tackles in.
Caleb Akins takes the first run up. Job at halfback goes across to Glover. He always likes some work, does Glover, getting involved early on here at Batley this afternoon. Job at halfback to Addy. Addy, straight direct, take it into the Batley half. Quick play the ball down the left-hand side of the field. Jimmy Beckett on a good line from Reynolds there. Good line inside there.
Certainly was. Jimmy Beckett supporting down the middle. Rovers in a great position now on the last play.
Last play, kick into the corner then. Bats it backwards, does Glover, but it's a changeover. Batley have the ball coming out 10 metres away from their own line. Great line speed there by Rovers, but again going down that hill, it's good to have the line speed. It's coming back up the hill. What's going to be the issue? But the props getting through some work nice and early, and again being disciplined here so far. Cooper brings the ball into the line. A great shot there. Good contact there by Danny Addy in the tackle. Moore tend it out wide to Manning. Manning, great tackle once again, keeping them in their own 40. We're on tackle 5 and they're 40 metres away from their own line. Very similar to the first set, Connor.
Yeah, very much so, Jaffa. A good first set in possession for the Rovers. Ryan Hampshire's kick, not the best. He will have wanted a better kick, but still, when you're turning the team over inside their own 10, then it's happy days. Rovers have just got to keep winning the arm wrestle, and the points will surely follow.
So, Alford takes the ball up on tackle 1. Tackle 2 now with Clay Webb. Here comes Big Gadwin, taking the ball in, looking for the offload, but doesn't quite get there. Chubb at dummy half, comes to the right. Hampshire sees a little gap, tries going for it. Across to Reynolds, playing eyes up rugby. Here, Clay Webb takes the ball forward. Rovers 30 metres out from the Batley line. Once again, Rovers playing from left to right as we look. Reynolds takes it on the last tackle, gets caught in possession. Good kick, putting Batley under pressure. I say a good kick, it turns out not a great kick as Batley take the ball in the in goal.
Yeah, no, that's not how you want to end your set. Ben Reynolds will be disappointed with that one there, just a little bit too much gas on it. Gives Batley, you know, a sigh of relief really, because they've been pinned deep inside their own half in the opening exchanges. You know, that 7 tackle set there and starting it 20 metres from their own line just gives them a bit of a leg up. But Rovers solid so far in this set.
So Batley bring the ball into the Rovers half for the first time on tackle 3. Got Luke Blake taking the ball in. Leak at halfback. Goes across to the right to White. It looks like a knock on there. Couldn't take the ball as he was trying to break the line. I think he asked Ben White asked a lot of the Batley player there.
He definitely did, yeah. He didn't want to take it himself, White, did he? So he just played the pass, which never looked like it was really on. So Rovers have a scrum sort of 30 metres from their own line, and you know, you'd fancy that if we get a couple of good carries here from the likes of Alfords and Gaz Gale, Connor Wynn, then we can be on Batley's line a couple of plays later and hopefully getting some rhythm and scoring some points, Jaffa.
And that's it. That's just getting that scoreboard ticking over. That's gives you a confidence boost, doesn't it? As Connor Wynn takes it in, looks a little bit high there. Dane Manning.
He's not on.
Oh,
yeah, it's a knock
he's
on.
lost the ball. So
Connor
Batley
Wynn saying there's a
have
hand
the ball
in.
back here, 30 metres away from the Rovers line.
Yeah, just
More.
sloppy there. Connor Wynn was saying that there was a hand in. Yeah, there probably were hands in there, but it's your duty to look after the ball and wrap it up, and he didn't on that occasion.
Lucas Walsh with the offload. Good line there by Luke Blake, but wrapped up nicely by Gaz Gale. Batley now on the attack, just under the Rovers post into the Rovers 10-metre area. Brandon Moore at halfback this time. Crash ball to Luke Blake, who unfortunately doesn't get across for Batley. Fortunate enough for Rovers. Oh, Blake and a little bit going on in back play there as Batley go out to the right-hand edge. Good defensive play by Glover. And again, Glover continues a great defence on that Rovers left edge, Batley's right. As we come across, Brandon Moore takes a drive up the middle for Batley. Last tackle, 8 metres away from the Rovers line. They're going right. Moore, great pass out wide. Oh, he tries the flip pass and it goes into touch on that far side. Good defensive effort by Rovers, put under pressure.
Very much so, Jaffa, but promising signs for Batley. You know, I think a fine example there. If we can't give field position inside his own half, because Batley will fancy the chances. They give the ball some width there, unable to execute it on that far side. But yeah, warning signs for the Rovers, Jaffa.
Batley weren't scared to throw the ball about there.
No, absolutely not, and they're not going to be, because at the end of the day, they score points at home on this pitch, and they believe in their own ability. They're well coached. They've got a good coach, and yeah, they're going to fancy the chances. So we can't take anything for granted this afternoon.
Right, then change over. Rovers up to take the ball to the middle of the field, and Jubb takes a little dummy and go on tackle 1. Reynolds gets in at halfback. Alforts brings the ball forward. Great effort by Alforts. Good leg drive and good metres after contact, taking Rovers to the Batley 30.
He's good at that, Alforts, isn't he? Taking pressure off the forwards and making metres post contact.
Yeah, he is. And Springer takes the ball in, going down the left edge. Glover to Alford. Oh, and we very similar to what Batley did. Pass the ball to the touchers. That toucher's getting a bit of the ball today.
Yeah, Clay Webb getting the arm free and looking to release Alforts. Alforts had some space if it had got to him, but it was a poor pass behind him and into touch. So Batley get the ball back 40 metres from their own line. Rovers yet to have any sustained pressure on Batley's line as we come up to the opening 9 or 10 minutes, Jaffa.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be that type of game here, isn't it? That first 10-15 minutes is always going to be tight, and let's see who gets those first points. Brad Day with a great shot there on the Batley player. Right, who we got now? So we've got Moore going back in at half. They keep switching around the hookers, I've noticed. Moore jumps in there quite a lot, and
yeah.
Also Leaks in there, isn't he?
To be fair, Brandon Moore's been a hooker for a lot of years.
Long, yeah.
You know, he plays loose forward now, but he's comfortable getting there. Probably just takes the pressure off Leak, having to get there every play.
Great effort by Gaz Gale in defence. You probably heard it from the crowd in the background. Cut out runner. Leak. Cooper on the run. Blake's got through quite a lot of work as well for Batley in this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, Batley's pack are getting through a mountain of work.
Worse for wear getting up there, though. Ben White kicks to the corner. Glover has gone up for the ball. The referee's still got
another set, this, Jaff.
I think so as well.
Yeah,
yes.
Another set.
Yeah, I thought that. Brandon Moore takes the ball forward. So Batley have a repeat set on 10 metres away from the Rovers line. Comes across to the left side. Got to go down, surely. That's Ott taking the ball in. Gets a shot there from Springer. Coming around the left side. Great work, great read again in defence by Gareth Gale.
Fantastic play there from Gaz Gale. Batley had the numbers, but Gale came out. Great read.
Coming down the blind side. Caleb Aikins wrapping the ball up. And again, Gaz Gale seems to be on it in defence today, does Gaz?
Yeah, he's a real tough player. Whether he plays on the wing or in the centre, you know what you're going to get from Gaz.
Leak across to White. White out the back door. Oh, and Glover. Interception, but doesn't get away and loses the ball. But a penalty to Rovers. Not quite sure what that one's for.
Yeah, ball steal on James Glover. Yeah, Batley just a little bit scrappy there. A lot of pressure is on the shoulders of Ben White, wearing number 6 for Batley. He's missing his usual halfback partner in Josh Woods, who does a lot of the kicking, a lot of the direction of play goes through him. So Ben White, yeah, he's playing with Tyron Ott. Ott's usually an hooker, you know, when he's played at Bradford, he plays at hooker. So he's playing in the halves today with Ben White, but it's a new club, new surroundings, new players for him. So a lot of the responsibility will fall to Ben White, and he just seemed to get a little flustered there and rush the pass over on that right-hand side, and Glover intercepted and wins his side a penalty. And hopefully we see a bit of action to our right, Jaffa.
Yeah, it seems to be Batley been putting the pressure on the Rovers line rather than the other way around in this first, 11 minutes gone now here at, I still want to call it Mount Pleasant, you know, not the Fox's Biscuits. So Springer takes the ball in, but a great defence by Batley, putting Springer on his back. That's a hard job in itself. Jubb at halfback comes to Hampshire. Hampshire today. And again, a great tackle by Manning. Putting the effort in at Batley today. Danny Addy takes the ball forward, tries putting Day through a line. Oh, and he pulled it back for a forward pass.
To be honest, Jaffa, he's given forward pass for the second one from Beckett, but I think he's given that off the back of probably realising he got the first one wrong. Addy's pass at the line to Beckett looked a little forward to me. He allowed play to continue. Beckett went through and tried to release Reynolds. He'd given forward pass for that one, which was more flatter than the other. But yeah, nonetheless, right decision either way, and Batley get the ball back.
Yeah, it's good to see Rovers still putting on the plays though, Connor. Even though we've been on the back of the sort of back foot a little bit in the first 10.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they won't hide away from playing the rugby, but what I think's more important is earning the right to play. And at the minute, Jaffa, we've not earned the right to play. You know, we've had a couple of glimpses, but we seem to, when we get sort of 30, 40 out, just force a pass, and it's happened on a couple of occasions, and we've turned the ball over. So Batley will be happy with that. We've just got to earn the right to play a little bit more, and when we start to do that, you know, we can start to sustain some pressure. At the minute, we're just not doing that.
It's 12 minutes on the clock here. Great following by the Rovers fans today. As you can probably hear in the background, just striking up the band to have a good sing-song behind the sticks here at Batley. What we stopped for at the minute, I'm just trying to see where... Oh, there's a Batley player being treated by the physio. So Batley have a scrum 30 metres away from the their own line, and with head and feet Batley. Let's see how this one unfolds. Right, all the water's off, and it looks like we're getting back up and away. More out the back of the scrum. Batley take the ball in with Render. That's the first time I think I've seen Render with the ball in his hands. Oh, did he knock on there? No. Cooper takes the ball in. Great tackle. Great met well by Brad Day. Leak. Passes across the right side to White, who then puts Walsh into a gap, but great defence by Ben Reynolds, holding Batley out. Batley through Brandon Moore. Once again, Cooper nearly through the line, but Moore has to go down, and he's tackled there on the third. Coming left now. Dane Manning. Brad Day met him really, really well. But still a good leg drive from Dane Manning. Leak across to Moore, to White. White kicks it into the corner. Olferts jumps for the ball and takes it really well. Olferts takes the ball 10 metres away then from the Rovers line. Rovers back in possession.
Big set here, Jaffa. We've got to be squeaky clean and not come up with any errors. We need a big set and just do the hard work, get a good kick underway, and start to play some rugby down their end.
Yeah, like you say, we seem to be looking left a lot so far, but patience, I think it will be Paul Cook's words at the moment, because I think there is points out there. Caleb Akins takes the ball back on the inside from Reynolds. Reynolds pointing at about the way he wants the ball to go, and he says go right, and the go right. Looks like a 40-20 attempt there by... sorry, I can't see because of the cameraman, but 40-20 attempts by Hampshire, but he keeps it in. The field does render and brings the ball back. Batley then starting 10 metres away from their own line. Great leg drive, though.
That's a good run.
Again.
Yeah, Oliver Greensmith has made a few real big carries for Batley, bringing it out of their own half. He's a real handful at the minute.
Batley seem to be doing to us today with the backs what we've been doing to other teams, Connor. The back line coming in and helping out.
Yeah, very much so.
Again.
Yeah, very
Elliot,
much so. Keir and Greensmith, two real strong players, real handfuls. Keir, all the experience in the world, played Super League for a lot of years, and Greensmith has always been a strong runner of the ball wherever he's been. So, yeah, they've got some real strength in the outside backs, and at the minute they're helping their team get on the front foot a lot.
So last tackle then for Batley, puts the ball up in the air. Akins jumps for the ball. And bats it back to Alferts. Alferts passes to Wynn, but Wynn gets absolutely smashed there by the Batley player, Dane Manning. Gareth Gale now comes forward for Rovers. Rovers making their first sub with 15 minutes gone. King Vuniyayawa enters the field and straight away gets his hands on the ball. Made this sub for Springer.
He's had a rough stint, Gadwin, hasn't he? He's taken a few big hits and not made the meters or given us the punch that we'd have hoped. But King coming off the bench hopefully will do some of that for us. So
Ben Reynolds tries a 40-20. Has it got the legs? It's got the legs, but it's gone too far on the wrong side of the flag. So that's another 7 tackle set now for Batley.
They're the fine margins, because that's so close to being a perfect kick and putting Rovers 20 out with a fresh set on Batley's line. Instead, he's taken a bounce the wrong way and gone dead, so it gives Batley an extra tackle and an extra 20 metres.
It certainly does. Connor, right then, Leake brings the ball out. Render comes in off his wing again. The Batley three-quarters getting back involved with the hands on the ball. Leake, this time to Joe Burton. Again, the Batley three-quarters in the line, bringing out the ball out on the halfway already, just with the back line. Brandon Moore now takes a dummy and a run into the Rovers half. Batley 35 metres away. Luke Cooper takes the ball forward. Good tackle by King Vuniyayawa and Jimmy Beckett. Last tackle. White has the ball in hand, kicks again to Alferts. Alferts puts his foot into the in goal. 7 tackle set now for Rovers.
Yeah, probably needed that just to gain a little bit of momentum. You can see some of the Batley pack tiring a little bit. I think Luke Cooper will be the next to have a breather for Batley. He's struggling to get back at the minute. He's got through plenty of work, though, I must say. Yeah, Rovers, listen, we've just got to be patient. Do the hard stuff, not get flustered, and then, the momentum effort will come.
King Vuniyayawa breaks through the Batley line. Brandon Moore holding on. 6 again for Rovers. Keep patient. Brad Day brings the ball forward. Tackled by Manning. Chubb at dummy half. Rovers 30 away. Comes down the blind side. Hampshire passes to Gaz Gale. Gaz Gale goes down. Just manages to stay in the field of play. Rovers going right to left now. Hampshire to Reynolds. Reynolds, great line by Clay Webb. And he breaks the first tackle. Rovers are 10 out. Gets tackled 10 metres away from the Batley line. Chubb to Danny Addy. Addy to Brad Day on the charge. Rovers 2 metres away from the Batley line now. Chubb at dummy half. Across to Addy. Addy out the back to Ben Reynolds. Reynolds with a little kick through, but taken well by the Batley player and read very well there, Connor.
Yeah, good scrambling defence there from Batley. Not a bad place to turn it over, though. So if we have a penalty-free set here, you'll start to see the momentum shifting, and we'll start to have some of the action down on Batley's line. But we've just got to be, as discipline's got to be good here.
And that's a great tackle once again by Rovers. We're on tackle 3 already, and they're only 15 metres away from their own line. Day and Jubb in the tackle. Jack Billington on the field now for Batley, on loan currently from Huddersfield. I think John Keir said in the week that he's a young, willing, running forward, I think his words were.
Yeah, Billington had some Super League experience with Huddersfield. So, yeah, they've got a couple of loan players, haven't they? Emmanuel Wayne will come off the bench as well. He's a handful on loan from Bradford.
So, kick return, Caleb Akins. We're 20 minutes into the game. Connor Jones comes on for Will Jubb. Bang on 20 minutes. Is that Cookie trying to change things up a little bit, do you think, Connor?
I think Connor Jones will come on and just speed things up for us. You know, that's his role, isn't it? Coming on and adding a bit of juice around dummy half. Hopefully getting off the back of quick play the balls from the likes of Vuni Ayawa, etc.
As we talk about, Vuni Ayawa takes another great run. Good leg drive after contact. Hampshire comes out to the right to Reynolds. Quick flick pass to Brad Day, but chopped down by Ben White and by Leake, and knocks on in the tackle. Once again, not completed set.
Yeah, and Batley giving themselves a pat on the back, and why wouldn't you? You know, we spoke about this hill, didn't we, at the beginning of the game, and you know, Batley will be more than happy with the way they've started. You know, we're a quarter of the game in now, 20 minutes played, and still waiting for the first points. Batley have been strong, gritty, determined, and Rovers just a little bit clunky. And not as patient as you would have hoped, and that's why we've not seen any points so far.
So I would say 20 minutes played, 21 minutes played here at the Foxers Biscuit Stadium. It's still Batley 0, Rovers 0 in this Betfred Championship fixture here on FRTV Live with me, Ian Jefferson, and Connor Grace. Right, Batley, feed the scrum and bring the ball out. Penalty. That Danny Addy seems to come out the tackle with the ball in his hand, and I'm not sure he's trying to claim he lost it, but I think he did have his hand on the ball.
Yeah, hands in there from Danny Addy, and a welcome penalty for Batley. Probably expect him to get up to halfway. Yeah, the kick takes them just short of halfway, so yeah, they'll be inside Rovers half in the next couple of plays, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you called the next sub as Luke Cooper comes off, and Emmanuel Wayne on loan from Bradford takes the ball in. He's come on for Luke Cooper.
He's a handful, is Wayne. He really is. I remember seeing him at London, and he was a real handful. And his first drive there runs straight at Connor Jones, and Connor Jones finds himself on his backside. Quickly up, though, wasn't he?
He certainly is. Quickly up. Anyway, Batley into the Rovers half. Manning at half back. That's unusual. You've got good... Again, good defence. They're sticking in there with the defence, but they're just putting themselves under pressure at the moment.
They sure are.
He's here again. He's running the ball in again. He's Wayne for Batley. 2 drives in the set for him. Looking to come left. Otts throwing his arms in the air, wants the ball for Batley. Brings it out to the left. White out the back to Dane Manning, who spins in the tackle and nearly breaks the tackle of Danny Addy, taking Batley 10 metres away from the Rovers line. Very slow play the ball. Last tackle. Brandon Moore goes across to White. White to Walshaw. Change over. They'll be happy with that though, Batley.
Absolutely, they'll be happy with it. You know, a couple of times have kicked and conceded 7 tackle sets. They opted to run it on that occasion. And Lucas Walshaw's gone very, very close to getting over. And Rovers have to bring it out from deep, right in that corner. So it's a little win that for Batley, you know, turning the ball over there and forcing Rovers to come out.
So the Rovers 3/4, it's their turn now to bring the ball out. Alfort's took tackle 1. That's Gaz Gale taking number 2. Here's Connor Wynn on tackle 3. Always a handful to tackle, but it seemed to go down very easily then. Referee telling him to move backwards. Right, Wynn plays the ball. Reynolds at dummy half to Addy. Addy drives the ball straight at Walshaw. But again, Batley dominating that tackle, putting Addy onto his back. King Vuniyawa with the hands. Through the hands to the right-hand side. Connor Wynn chooses to go back on the inside. I think he was running out of room there, Connor.
Yeah, he was. Batley up quick. good sliding defence. Caleb Aiken supporting to take the ball off window and make another 10 metres or so.
Rovers look like they're going to put Batley into the corner. Kick through, chip over the top by Hampshire. The ball's bouncing all over, and Aidan McGowan, fullback for Batley, takes the ball. Render now brings the ball in, met with a solid Rovers defence. Looks like Leak has now come off, and will that be Flynn going in? Again, Rovers give away another penalty.
A little bit too eager. Yeah, we're just doing things that are not helping us right now. You know, a little bit too eager, line speed too quick there, and Greensmith took advantage and just run straight into defensive line. Knew he was getting a penalty, and another welcome penalty, because that kick from Hampshire caused all sorts of problems for the winger Render out here, and Batley lost some ground because of it. So that penalty has come as a welcome relief for them.
So Batley on tackle 1, 40 metres away from their own line. Brandon Moore looks like he's gone into hooker now.
Yeah, that often happens for them. Yeah, he starts at 13, does the hard yards up the middle, and then when Leake's ready for a breather, he jumps in at dummy half, does Brandon Moore. Very experienced there.
Great hit there by Brad Day on Wayne. He's getting through some work for Batley. Ott now takes the ball forward. Connor Jones and Beckett in the tackle. Staying on his feet, but finally put to ground. Batley 30 metres away from the Rovers line. Moore takes the ball forward to White. White met by Clay Webb and Danny Addy, but still nearly breaks the tackle, Connor.
Yes, I spoke about Ben White a little earlier. He's doing a decent job for Batley. You know, he's just keeping things simple. He's not trying to overplay. The fact all the pressure is on him as the only halfback. He's not overplaying, although he could have done with being freed up to kick that ball there, because Batley have just given a 7-tackle set away.
Yeah, Aidan McGowan with the little chip over the top, but well taken at the back by Akins, who brings the ball back for a 7-tackle set for Rovers, but on tackle 1, Batley give away a penalty.
Yeah, and a big chance for Rovers now to give this a big boot and get ourselves inside their own 30-40 metre line, because, yeah, it's a monster kick by Rocky Hampshire.
Great kick down at that left side for the penalty, and Rovers now with the ball just 30 metres away from the Batley line. Is that Nathan Wild on now?
Yeah, Nathan Wild's just come on for Danny Addy in the middle.
Rovers coming to the right. Hampshire today to Gaz Gale, who takes the tackle. Sensibly drops to his knees. Rovers passing the ball down the left. King Vuniayua down the middle. As you can hear, the Batley fans thought it was forward. I'm going with, no, that were all right.
Yeah, that was fine. Nothing wrong with that one.
Rovers going down the left. Ben Reynolds. Clay Webb tries getting for a gap, but great Batley defence. Rovers now just 5 metres away from the Batley line. Reynolds has his hands on the ball to Wild. Wild takes the ball forward. The Rovers right in the centre of the field on the last tackle. 10 metres out. Comes down the right side. Hampshire. Oh, and Gale tries taking the ball on the crash ball, but loses it. And that's another easy turnover, Connor.
Yeah, we just can't seem to get into our rhythm at the minute, can we? You know, we're knocking on the door a little bit more now, and that's the key. We can't go against that now. We've got to be very good defensively here. Keep Batley down there. And listen, I know I keep saying the word patience. That's what we need. That's what we're going to need. We can't keep coming away with these errors.
Jimmy Beckett's just absolutely whacked the Batley player who brought the ball forward there. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Billington.
Yeah, it was a big hit by Beckett, but the next play from Elliot Keir was a good 10-12 metres for his side. Great work there from Keir.
Joe Burton then brings the ball to the 30-metre line for Batley. Again, another drive straight down the middle. They seem to be taking it up the middle again. They've switched it around a little bit now, going down the middle again, haven't they? Now they've just brought the other forwards on.
Yeah, getting the forwards that have come on off the bench through some work. That's what John Keir will have wanted. Go in there and make yourself busy.
So Batley kick it from the halfway line. Caleb Higgins takes it 20 metres away from the Rovers line and brings the ball back. Good metres on the first tackle. Alfords comes in for a little bit of work off the wing down the middle. takes it to the 40-metre line. Connor Wynn now comes in off his wing to have another great leg drive there by Connor Wynn going into the Batley half. This is the role that we were talking about needs to happen.
Yeah, very good work there from Connor Wynn, just refusing to be tackled and putting his side on the front foot.
Hampshire out the back to Akins. Flat ball to Brad Day on the last tackle. Gale at dummy halfback. Puts it to Hampshire, who kicks to the corner. Render takes the ball well, but Connor Wynn tackles straight away as soon as he catches the ball. Batley.
Well taken there from Render. Did very well there to take that kick from Hampshire.
He's here again, is Billington. He's got through a lot of work since he's been on the field. And the backs coming in again. Joe Burton for Batley. Batley 30 metres out. Still 0-0 here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium with 10 minutes to go in this first half. Last tackle, 40 metres out from their own line. Tries diving for a penalty. Kick through, and Olfus takes it 25 away from the Rovers line. Big effort needed in this next 10, Connor.
Yeah, very much so, but we're starting to start our sets a little bit further forward than we were sort of 10-15 minutes ago. So you would like to think that if we keep starting our sets where we are at the minute, the points will come. But again, patience is the key. We don't want to be throwing passes that aren't on. That's a great carry from Gaz Gale.
He did look for the offload and nearly lost it, but I think he just kept hold of the ball there. Ben Reynolds. Drop off to Glover on the left side. Very tense atmosphere here. It's a big game in the Betfred Championship, this Yorkshire derby. Great ball there. Brad Day nearly gets through the gap. Looks like Reynolds was taken a little bit late there, but he gets up. Rocky Hampshire down this right side. Gaz Gale, little kick through into the corner. But the Batley fullback, McGowan, knocks the ball into touch. So Rovers get a full set on the Batley line.
Yeah, that's quite poor from McGowan, really, because when the ball's there, I know the first thought is just get rid so we don't score a try. But, if he just pats it back, Batley have to drop out, whereas he's patted it into touch, and Rovers get possession 10 metres out. So, Rovers on the front foot. I was just going to say before we nearly went in at the corner there, I want to see the halfbacks take authority a little bit more. At the minute, Reynolds and Hampshire are just dipping in and out of the game. One of them at least needs to set the game by the scruff of the neck, I think, in this opening sort of 8 minutes of the first half.
So then tackle one. King Vunyayua drives the ball under the post. Rovers 3 metres out. Goes down the left-hand side. Glover. Oh, he nearly gets through. Caleb Akins offload. Rovers just playing eyes up rugby now. Hampshire back to Akins. Akins out today. Gone left to right, but gone backwards, Connor.
Yeah, that's it. I know they were throwing the ball about, but never really looked to gain any momentum. Batley dealt with that pretty well.
Good defence by Batley. Rovers down the middle with Beckett. 2 metres away from the Batley line. Beckett gets tackled. Connor Jones out to Ben Reynolds. Reynolds to Akins, who runs through the gap and gets the first try of the game. Great work from Ben Reynolds. Just a slight delayed pass puts Caleb Akins through the gap, and a little bit of a walk-in for Akins on that left side.
Yeah, very, very good full-back play from Caleb Akins. Chimed himself into the line just at the right time. He had options on his left, but it just opened up for him, and he was never going to get caught there, was he, when he beat the first Batley defender. So, yeah, Rovers, as I said, they just had to be patient. The try has come, and it's about how we kick on from this now and keep building, because, Paul Cook probably won't be happy with the opening 33, 34 minutes. We do have some points to his name now going down that hill. We've just got to keep the momentum going and keep racking up the points. So
first points on the board, 34 minutes into the game. 34 minutes Batley have held out Featherstone here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium, but a great try through Caleb Akins. Reynolds then lining up the conversion. There is a bit of a breeze here at Batley, but I think it's a
bit of a swirling breeze.
A bit of a swirler, isn't it? That's right, yeah. I think Rovers just made a sub as well as Reynolds lines up the conversion.
Yeah, Sitar Koala's come on for Jimmy Beckett.
Strikes the ball with the right foot. And the crowd behind the six tell us that it's a goal. That's Rovers 6, Batley 0. I think Rovers needed that, Connor.
Very much so, Jaffa. It was needed because the longer we were going on without scoring points, the more we were gonna be panicking. Whether that's right or wrong, the more you go without scoring points, more doubt starts creeping in. But no, that was very good fullback play. Reynolds did well to take the ball to the line and release Caleb Akins. And yeah, great conversion as well from Reynolds to put us 6-0 up.
Yeah, like you said, definitely needed points just before half-time here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium. 5 minutes to go. It'd be nice to get another try on the board.
Definitely would, yeah, but we've just got to... This set here from scoring points is a massive, massive set.
I always say that first set after scoring points, Connor, is probably the most important set of a game.
Yeah, it is,
just
because
complete it. You just want to complete.
You can undo all that hard work of scoring a try within a couple of tackles when you get the ball near your own line. So it's key to get to the end of the set, get a good kick in, and then roll the sleeves up and do the hard defensive stuff.
Akawula taking the ball forward, and him and Brandon Moore seem to be having a little bit of a look at each other there after they play the ball. Rovers takes the ball forward. Reynolds looks again like he got tackled a little bit late there, but nothing coming from the referee. Rovers into the Batley half. Reynolds, drop-off ball to Wild. Wild takes the ball forward. It's 35 metres away from the Batley line. It's the last tackle. The referee has his hand in the air. Connor Jones over to Ben Reynolds. Kicks into the corner. Well took there by the Batley fullback, Aidan McGowan. Shot across to get the ball.
Yeah, did very well there, McGowan, but better kick from Ben Reynolds, pinning Batley in the corner.
So Batley about 5 metres away from their own line on tackle 2. Slight dummy from half-back there, but Rovers pick up Joe Burton and drive him back. 10 metres out on tackle 3. Akawala with a big hit there. That's feel a bit sorry for him there, Connor, because that's after the frustrations of up here. He just whacked him with all he had there.
He's had a rough season, Sito Akawala, to be fair. He's starting to play a little bit now and get some game time. He's just got to do his job. He's got to run, tackle hard, and he has been doing that as of late, to be fair to him, and earning his place in the team. That's
a great take by Caleb Akins at the back on to the Batley at kick from their own 20-metre area, and Rovers on tackle 1. Caleb Akins in the Batley half already. Alford on tackle 2, takes the ball forward. 40 metres out now, Rovers, with 2.5 minutes to go. Akawula down the hill. He's a sight running down the hill, isn't he? Rovers set up on the right. Reynolds. Drop-off ball to Wild down the middle. He nearly got through there.
He's added some energy, Nath Wild, off the bench.
He's been busy. Great offload there. Oh, dear. Rovers trying to overplay a little bit there. I think Rocky Hampshire found himself with the ball, saw the offload out the back to Vuni Ayuad, just couldn't take it.
Rocky Hampshire, for me, needs to start running a little bit more. He went to take on the line there, but then was just a bit hesitant to follow it through and ended up offloading, and his team were under pressure there. He's got to run a bit more for me as Hampshire, because he's got a good running game. We just haven't seen enough of it so far.
So we're into the last 2 minutes then. It's currently Rovers 6, Batley 0 here on FRTV Live with me, Jaffa, and Connor. Hopefully bringing some audio to the away matches till the end of the season. Technically permitted.
Yeah, of course, we've got to rely on stadium connections and things like that, but we'll always try as best to bring you that coverage for the away games.
I will warn you all, we have the timekeeper right next to us, and he's just shaking the hooter in his hands. It's going to be loud in a
Gearing it
second.
up a minute and a half until half time. Yeah, just on bringing the coverage on away games. We are just doing it for away games at the minute. The home games, of course, we've got some special offers on. We've got £10 tickets for the Widnes game in a couple of weeks' time. It was great to see more of you there against London. We need the same for the last two home games moving forward in our push for the playoffs.
Right then, we're into the last minute on the stadium clock here. Rovers just receiving the ball back from a kick by White out of his own half. Reynolds jumps into dummy half. Glover gets his hands on the ball again. Seems to have been a while since we've said Glover's got his hands on the ball.
Yeah, he's not been as busy as he has been in previous games, has he?
Rovers coming out to Caleb Akins. What great read in defence by Oliver Greensmith.
I think he's had a brilliant game for Batley. You know, with the ball and without the ball, he's put some big hits in defensively and just been just offered himself all the time with the ball to make meters.
Rovers go down the left with Reynolds, but gets caught in possession. If that ball had gone out wide there, he had lots of room, did Glover on that left edge. We're coming back to the middle on the last tackle. Hampshire kicks into the corner. Glover jumps for the ball and receives the ball. Clay Webb, can he get the ball down? He does! Great leap by, that's a great time to score a try. Rovers get the ball on the last through Hampshire. Great kick into the left corner. As you can hear, right on the Uta there. Great kick by Rocky Hampshire into the left corner. Like a leaping salmon was Glover there. Jumping up, manages to bat the ball back to Clay Webb, who dives over. Batley tried everything to keep him up there, but managed to get the ball down.
Yeah, Clay Webb there, because he still had to finish that ball. You know, James Glover gets the arm free, gets the offload away. Clay Webb's got to run to the line. Batley get 3 men around him, but determination and strength, and he had enough there to get over the line, stretch out, and put Rovers 2 scores ahead. So that's a big try going into half time, because you know it's not gone our own way this first half. Batley have been real gutsy, a real top performance from them so far, you would say, especially as they've been coming up the hill. Rovers going down. So a real good time to score, and it changes the whole complexion of the game. You would expect Reynolds to kick this conversion, wouldn't you, Jaffa? So that should put us 12-0 up at the break.
Yeah, you certainly would. I don't want to put a commentator's curse on him, but like you did at Hunslet, Connor. But I'm sure he'll get this one just to the left of the uprights, right on half time here at Batley. But a great work try, and hopefully, I'd like to say a deserved try as well. And as you can hear, the touch judges, the flags go up, the touch judges are happy, and that is a half-time score then here at Mount Pleasant. It's Batley 0, Rovers 12. Connor, what do you think to that first half? Who's the happier coach?
Oh, it's tough. It really is. John Key will be delighted with the way his team have applied themselves, but they're trailing by 12 points to 0. You know, Paul Cook on the flip side will be unhappy with the way we started the game and the way we weren't patient enough to build pressure. But again, on the flip side, we're leading by 12 points. So it's one of them where I don't think either coach is delighted. There's certainly work on for both coaches. But at the end of the day, look, Rovers are 12-0 up. And traditionally in previous years, we've struggled on this ground. We're 12-0 up. We've got to kick on in the second half, because Batley will have spells in the second half going down that hill where they get some momentum and they apply some pressure. We've just got to be good enough to come away from here with the 2 points.
So then half-time here at the Foxes Biscuit Stadium in Batley. We're going to have a little bit of a break and a drink for half-time. We'll be back with you for the full second half live commentary here on FRTV Live. It's half-time. It's Batley 0, Featherstone Rovers 12. Well, welcome back to the Foxers Biscuit Stadium here at Batley as Rovers take a 12-0 lead into the second half. It's me, Jaffa, here on FRTV Live with Connor. Batley, the first team out, and Rovers just coming out now onto the field. And Connor, big effort needed up this hill in the second half.
Yep, very much so. I think we've got to replicate what Batley were doing so well in that first half, in the opening exchanges. We've got to run hard, we've got to tackle hard, we've got to be disciplined and build on what is a 12-0 lead. We didn't have it plain sailing in the first half. We've got to be better in the second half. If we look after the ball a lot better, I'm sure the full-time result will certainly be in our favour. Yeah, John Keir sent Batley out a little bit early. They'll be ready. They'll be ready for this second half. Excuse a hooter. Rovers are out now, and we're ready for the second half, Jaffa.
So it's a decent day weather-wise. A bit of a swirling wind here at Batley this afternoon, and I think I asked you the question just before half time. Who's the happier of the two coaches? I'm probably going at the moment. John Keir's probably happier of the two. Having said that, like you said, the points that we scored just in the last sort of 10 minutes of that first half helps massively.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, you probably are right. John probably is the happier of the two coaches when you look at the context of the way Batley's season's going and the way we've been in terrific form as of late. But that's a dreadful start to the second half.
Wow. So we're underway here in the second half. Batley kick-off to Rovers. Ball across the ground. It looked like a bit of a flop of a kick-off, if I'm being honest. Gaz Gale or Connor Wynn just didn't react. And
tell you what, it's a peach of a kick from Ben White. That is a great restart. They are difficult to take.
You're expecting that to go to the back line, aren't you?
You are, yeah. And there's just a lapse of concentration there from Wynn and Gale over on that far side.
Okay, Batley attacking the Rovers line then. They're just 10 metres out on tackle one as Emmanuel Wayne on loan from Bradford takes the ball in. Brandon Moore takes it out to the right-hand edge to Lucas Walsh. Good Rovers defence, though, keeping them out, but under pressure straight away here in the second half. That's Aidan McGowan trying to dive over from half back there, but held up well by the Rovers defence. So he has to go back out 10 metres.
Yeah, Rovers have got to be strong here on their own line.
Batley then drive to the middle with Flynn. Moore at dummy half, out to White. Going down the left side, and Tyron Ott taking on the Rovers line, the halfback. Another Aloni from Bradford. Good defence, holding them out. Last tackle goes down the short side. Little inside pass, but Rovers hold out and do well there defensively, Connor.
Yeah, they had to do. Disastrous start, as we said, allowing the kick to go into touch, and straight away Batley are on our line. But the defence stood firm there. Greensmith coming in on the charge. Good defensive line from the Rovers to stop him. And we now need a big set coming from his own line.
But Batley, Gazgale tries driving out on tackle one, but the Batley defence try pushing him back over the line. Doesn't quite work. This time, Olferts dives to the floor, gets a quicker play the ball. King Vuyayo are now with his hands on the ball, bringing the ball out for Rovers, out to about 15 metres away from the Rovers line. Wild takes the ball in. It's a little bit better now from the forwards, getting into a little bit of a better position. Akawala takes the ball forward, but he's met very well by the Batley defence by Wayne. Rovers kicking then from their own 30 metres. Bit of a funny kick, what held up in the wind there. But a turnover just into the Batley half. Batley will be pleased with that.
Yeah, Ryan Hampshire won't be pleased with that. Poor kick there. McGowan taking the ball 5 metres from halfway. So, Batley starting their sets where Rovers don't want them to be starting their sets.
So, Batley bringing the ball down the right side. Reynolds in the tackle with Clay Webb and Vuniayua. Looks like he's just held onto that ball there, Elliot Keir. White takes the line on, takes it to Ott. Out onto the left side to Oliver Greensmith. But Greensmith loses the ball Connor Jones tries a bit of a counter, but comes up with the ball.
Yeah, Greensmith there just tried to bump off a tackle, and when he's done that, he's promoted the ball, and the ball's just come free. So one thing you always get taught as a rugby player when you're younger, never lead with the ball, and he did there, did Greensmith, and it came out. But Rovers now with the ball on halfway.
Gaz Gale getting up very loose after that play the ball, but he gets back to his position. Akawala with the hands out the back, but to no one. Glover gets the ball and takes the ball forward, 40 metres away from the Batley line. Rovers playing right to left now here in the main stand at Batley. Great leg drive by King Vuniaiwa, tackle 4. Connor Jones out to Rocky Hampshire, who looks really tripped then. He looks like.
What was I saying about him running? He needs to run more. He almost poked his nose through there.
Last tackle. Reynolds has his hands on the ball. Looks to go high onto the left. Alforts looks. Oh, he was trying to get the ball, but White gets it.
Yeah, I think referee was playing advantage.
Away.
It came forward off Glover, so Batley were going to get the ball back anyway. So the ref just played advantage and let Batley take the tackle.
So Batley bringing the ball out from their own 20 with Render. Good tackle there by Rovers. Need to be squeaky clean here. No penalties in this set. Clay Webb. Great tackle on the Batley player, Brandon Moore, at halfback. Passes the ball. He comes charging down does Emmanuel Wayne for Batley. Just inside their own half. White taking on the line. Ooh, Walsh nearly through the line.
Almost through Lucas Walshaw there. They've got the tails up Batley, haven't they?
They certainly have. They're not afraid to. They're playing sort of no pressure rugby, aren't they? They've got nothing to lose. But White kicks down into the corner. Then
a hurting animal is a dangerous animal, Jaffa, and that's right. The case with Batley.
And where they are in the league at the moment, they're fighting for every point, aren't they?
They sure are. They've got the right coach as well for that.
Alforts brings the ball out. Then Glover takes it in on tackle 2. The referee telling Alforts to stop pulling at the Batley player. Very slow play the ball. Connor Wynn now. Beats the first man. Good offload. Glover wasn't expecting that, but he managed to keep hold of it. Looks like another Rovers sub. Akawala coming off, being replaced by captain Danny Addy. Hopefully to bring a little bit more stability to the team, Connor.
Yeah, he won't have been happy with his first spell, Danny Addy, so he's going to come on and... Oh. I'm sorry there, Clay Webb's having a go at Darrell Alforts. Nah, that's a poor pass. That pass was never on from Clay Webb there. Darrell Alforts, what was he going to do if he even took that ball?
Well, Rovers once again passed the ball into touch. As you say, Clay Webb, I think he thought Alford should have been in a different position, but he was never going to get that. It'd been down near his ankles.
Yeah, exactly. He can think he could have been in a different position all he wants. He wasn't in that position, so don't pass the ball for me.
So, Batley, Rovers turn over the possession just on halfway then to Batley, who drive the ball in on that left-hand side. I think that was Billington again. Oh, no, this one's Billington. That was...
Greensmith again, coming in from his centre.
Yeah. Looks like a HIA assessment for Akawula. That's why he came off, Connor, looking at the benches. Great read in defence, though, by Glover as he comes out and meets the Batley fullback, Aidan McGowan. Wow. He absolutely ran the ball in like a steam train then did Emmanuel Wayne.
He's picked Connor Jones out a few times, hasn't he?
Connor Jones must be wondering what's happened. Batley attacking, 20 out, inside ball, great tackle.
It's a great tackle there from Nath Wild. Terrific tackle.
Jack Billington loses the ball in that collision.
Yeah, great tackle from Nathan Wild. 1-on-1. He's not tried to lock the ball up. He's just tried to smash him down onto the ground, and the ball's come free from there. But no, great defensive play there from Nathan Wild, who's I think he's added a lot of energy since coming on from the bench. You know, he's not the most flashy player. We all know that. But what he does do is he ties things up in the middle of the field, and you know, I think since he's come on today, he's been pretty good in the middle for Rovers.
And he is a real workhorse, isn't he? He's an absolute workhorse. He's one of those players who probably would be one of the first on your team sheet because of his work rate.
Yeah. Every team needs him. You can have big, strong forwards that break the line all you want, but you also need those that'll do those little 1%ers, and Nathan Wild does that.
So then Rovers bringing the ball out from the Batley line. I've said that a few times already in this half, but that's what happens on this field. Danny Addy takes a drive forward. Wild has his hands on the ball again to Hampshire. Hampshire to Brad Day, who drives the ball in. Just coming up to halfway. It's a little bit of a better position for Rovers as Caleb Akins takes it over the halfway line on the last tackle. Hampshire has the ball in hand, kicks, great kick into the corner, but well taken by McGowan at fullback for Batley.
Yeah, Batley shuffling the pack. Leake and Blake coming back on just to give their middles a bit of a breather, who've worked really, really hard, it has to be said.
It's a bit of a slow play the ball there for Batley on tackle 2 coming away. Once again, the referee telling the Batley player to make sure he plays the ball on the mark. Batley bringing the ball forward. Danny Addy with a good tackle. King Vuniayua is getting through some work in defence as well today. And he's lost the ball of the Batley player. That's a great effort by Vuniayua there. You could see he wasn't happy with just the initial contact and tried driving back the Batley player, who then loses the ball.
Yeah, big is that. Big error in a decent position for Rovers to put some attacking rhythm in place. It's the first time, I think, in this second half, Jaffa, that we've actually had the ball inside Batley's 40 in an attacking position. So, we've got to make it count, I think, on this occasion, because as we've seen in the opening 10 minutes, Batley, they'll be able to score some points because they're threatening and knocking on the door. So we need to make every opportunity we get, we need to make it count.
Yes, 10 minutes gone then. Clock has just gone off for a Rovers player who's down, Danny Addy, at the moment. Akawula getting a nice reception from the Rovers fans behind the post here at Batley this afternoon. He's going for his HIA assessment.
Yeah, I can't recall the contacts that cause a HIA, to be honest. I can't think of a big collision there. So, hopefully he's okay and can return.
The Rovers drummer trying to drum up the Rovers fans behind the posts. Looking all right. The Rovers following this afternoon, and as you say, some great offers on for the next home game as well, Connor.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the away support is pretty good. When you're at grounds like Batley and Dewsbury and places like this, there's more Rovers fans than what there looks, because they're scattered all across the ground. We've got loads surrounding us here, right at the back of the main stand. There's loads over on the far side stand, but the largest contingent seems to be over to us left. They're swapped over with Rovers attacking that end in the second half.
Right then, we're back underway. 10 minutes gone then here in the second half. Rovers attacking the Batley line. First time we've been 20 metres away from the Batley line in this second half. Danny Addy drives down the middle, doing the hard yards. Connor Jones goes right to Rocky Hampshire. Hampshire puts Brad Day, nearly through a gap. But the Batley defence seem to be driving him towards that touchline, and he's in touch. That's a coach killer.
Yeah, I think what you've got to say is if you're a neutral here, you're really impressed with some of the things that Batley are doing. Those 1% plays, getting men in the tackle and forcing Brad Day into touch. Yeah, Rovers could have been smarter. We all know that, but they're playing with an abundance of energy and a never say die attitude. And yeah, although they're trailing by 12 points to 0, they're reaping the rewards because they're still in this game. And Rovers certainly have not got this one yet, have they?
Definitely not, and that's what you get from a John Keir team, isn't it? Just a never give up attitude.
Yeah, 100%, and Batley is showing that in abundance today.
Okay then, Batley bringing the ball out then. They take play the ball just under their own post. They're throwing it out wide on tackle 2 with Walsh down this right-hand edge. Good tackle though, Reynolds in and amongst it, and King Vuniayua once again in amongst it in the tackling.
Yeah, he's a big athlete. He's Lucas Walshaw on this right-hand side. I remember him playing Super League at Wakefield and come through, and he looked like he was going to be a real Super League player. It didn't quite work for him. but he's doing a good job for Batley. A decent kick there, just short of a 40-20.
Yeah, Connor Wynn, the Batley player, looked up and saw that that Connor Wynn had not quite dropped back, but he scattered back, did Wynn, and luckily for Rovers, the ball still went above his head, but just went the wrong side of the 20-metre line. So Rovers now playing the ball about 30 metres away from the Batley, their own line. And in the background, we can just hear an Elvis tribute getting ready for after the game.
I'm looking forward to a bit of that. Looking forward to that. Will Jubb's getting ready for Rovers to return, just to stiffen us up in the middle of the park. You know, what you see is what you get with Will Jubb. He does what it says on the tin. He'll have some solidity in the middle of the park. You would expect him to come on for Connor Jones. It hasn't been one of Connor's most disruptive games, but that's because of the nature of the game, of what it has been. You know, Will Jubb will come on and steady the ship.
Rovers then driving up the middle, 3 plays up the middle, each one of them. And now Danny Addy looks like he wants to go up the middle and make some great yards. Looks like a bit high from the Batley player, but he's let it go. Reynolds kicks the ball and looks like he's been taken out off the ball there. The referee's looking back, but Alforts decides otherwise and tries going for it. Rovers playing eyes up rugby, and they've taken their advantage. Is he not? I thought he was going to go back and give a penalty there.
Yeah, no, not for me. I feel that, you know, it was one of them where it was marginal. You know, if video cameras had have been here and there were replays, you'd probably say, when you slow it down, yeah, a little late. But you've got to think these are playing full whack, aren't they? And that split second, you know, I don't think it was too late. I'm happy with them playing on there.
So the big Jack Billington drives forward for... I keep getting him and Greensmith mixed up. They look very similar, don't they? Both of them red boots on. Right, Batley then. Bringing the ball forward. Oh, dummy through on the last from Leake. And he now kicks at the ball. This is open play as Alforts gets the ball and drops. That was very much open play by Batley. Kicking the ball down. Just something or nothing kick, what turned into putting Rovers under pressure, bringing the ball out 2 meters away from the line.
Tell you what, take it off to Batley there. You know, the kick through from Leake, and then the hack on as well. It put Reynolds and Alforts under massive pressure. Alforts mopped up in the end, but Rovers still having to play out from deep. Batley will be happy. There's some signs for them, isn't there, that they can get something out of this game?
There certainly is, yeah. And the Rovers players driving it out from the line on the last tackle, just 30 metres away from the line. Oh dear, that's a big error. Big error from the Batley fullback. We've been saying how well he's been playing, Aidan McGowan, but a nothing real kick from Rovers. And McGowan drops it under not much pressure either.
Yeah, that's huge. That is huge, because if he catches that ball there, makes another 10 metres until he reaches the Rovers' defence. They're starting their set on halfway with the tails up. Instead, he's knocked on 30 metres from his own line. Rovers are going to feed the scrub and have an attacking set on Batley's line. So, yeah, that is a real, you know, that could change the context of the game. That's on another note, which made me laugh. You mentioned the Elvis performing behind us in this stand. Well, John Keir's not happy about it because he's just hurled all sorts. He's going back down now, is John?
He's gone. John Key has gone to try and tell the Elvis man to shut up. Anyway, we're back here with the rugby. Kelly Akins taking the ball forward for Rovers. 20 metres away from the line. That's the thing when you're doing commentary from inside the stand, Connor. You get to see all the antics. He hasn't come back. And,
we've nearly been scrapping with his own coaches before the game.
He's back. He must be being quiet. Okay, Rovers attacking the line. Addy. Hands to Reynolds. Reynolds to Alforts on the wing, but Alforts chooses to take his knee down to the floor. Tackle 3, I think, or 4 now. Rovers 20 metres out still. Addy takes on the line. Hampshire with that little running step. And he's caught a lot of defences out with that this year, but not today. Batley holding strong. Tackle 4. Addy takes the ball up the middle. Offload to King Vuniayua. Last tackle then, under the posts. Rovers attacking the Batley line. Connor Jones comes left to Reynolds. Reynolds to Webb. Walshaw wraps Webb up, though, very well. and Batley tackle the Rovers player, but Rovers will be happy turning it over in the corner.
Well, they'll be happy turning it over there, but they'll be disappointed that they weren't able to make the pressure count. Still only leading by 12 points. Batley in a real good position, although we do have to bring it out from deep. I just want to say I might be a little bit too critical here, but we've got a runner of the ball in Caleb Akins, who when he gets his hand on the ball is a real threat. But I want to see as half-backs run with the ball a little bit more and be a little bit more demanding. Reynolds and Hampshire have played a lot of Super League, the top players, and both have had running games in Super League. I want to see a little bit more of that, and I think we can really get some joy if the half-backs start running a bit more.
Ott brings the ball forward, offload to Dane Manning, but the Rovers defence keep Batley in at the 20-metre area. Here he is, Greensmith again, getting through some more work in this second half for Batley. Looking for the offload, but keeps it. Last tackle, Batley only 30 metres away from their own line. Rovers will be happy with that defensive set. And a nice easy take, hopefully, for Alford, as I held my breath as he caught the ball above his head.
Never in doubt.
Rovers then 40 metres away from their own line, bringing the ball out on tackle number 1. Caleb Akins going towards the touchline. That won't please Coach Paul Cook. Glover takes the ball back on the inside into the Batley half. Some of the Rovers fans claiming Batley are trying to slow the game down, Connor. I'm not sure I can see that at the moment, but King Vuniaiwa with a nice drive up the middle.
Hey, do you know what? They're entitled to. They've got to try and get back into this game. And if if it is a little bit too quick for them, they're going to try and slow it down. I don't see what the problem is. Any team would do that if they're against, superior players, which you would say on paper Rovers have got. Batley are doing what they need to do.
The ball comes loose from a kick. Rovers kick the ball to the right side, and Batley bring the ball out. Good attempt at trying to get that ball there by Gaz Gale, but unfortunately it bounced into the Batley's man's hands, who then shot through the line, and a bit of a swinging arm there from Danny Addy. Not needed, Connor.
No, not needed at all. When Batley are getting a roll on, McGowan's just run 20 metres. Giving a penalty is the last thing you want to do, because it just invites Batley into our half, and Ben White doesn't make too many metres, but at some point in this set they're going to be inside our half, and 20 minutes on the clock, Rovers with a 12-point lead. This game's far from done, Jaffa.
It certainly is. Paul Cook at the moment will be happy with that 0, but Batley coming down the hill, that's not an easy thing to keep. Okay, Leak then tries again from dummy half. He's done that a few times in this second half, and maybe
he's been threatening since he come back off the bench. Leak he's been real threatening at dummy half.
Walshaw down this right-hand side. Danny Addy around the legs this time. He's found the legs. That's good. But Walshaw takes a tackle, stood up, play the ball. Leak again from dummy half. Passes to White. Bit of a misread there in attack. Dane Manning now has the ball from Ott. Tackle 4. 20 metres out from the Rovers line. Luke Blake takes a drive forward. 10 metres out now on the last. Going down the left. Ott, little click, chip through. But a great read there by Connor Wynn in attack. And he brings the ball back out well, 15 metres out. Great read there in defence.
Yeah, very good there from Connor Wynn. Read it all along. And then, had the strength and the pace to make some ground following that.
Oh, and Caleb Akins breaks through the line, a little goose step. And he gets onto the halfway line on tackle 3. Tackle 2. That'll be good for Rovers. There he goes, Rocky Hampshire, when he takes the line, and he made a good 15 metres there. Rovers now just 35 away, from the Batley line. Gaz Gale takes a drive forward. I'm hearing from the stands drop goal territory. We're 18 minutes. Oh, and King Vuniaiwa can't take the ball.
Well, I tell you what, that's not a crazy suggestion, because it's all right saying, no, we need more points, we need more tries. We've been off it today, and that's been summed up there by that loose pass and error there. If we were playing an Oldham, or we were playing a York, or we were playing a Toulouse and leading 12-0, we'd be calling for a drop goal all the time to make it 3 scores. I tell you what, this game's not won, so a drop goal wouldn't be the worst decision in the world.
No, you're right there, Connor. And we will see in the next 18 minutes where that takes us. Brandon Moore drives down the middle of the field. He's gone back to his loose forward position since Leake's come back on. Good, I was just about to say a good read in defence. Penalty to Batley.
We can have no complaints. James Glover catches him round the head. It is a penalty. Yeah, they were falling a little bit, but when the arm does go across the head, you're going to get a penalty, and that is what it is.
That's the rule nowadays, isn't it? Any touch of the head, and that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Beckett back on for the Rovers.
See, John Keir's gone down to the side of the field to coach from the side of the field. It looks like Jed's on his way to the side of the field for the Rovers coaches. So that just shows how tense it is, doesn't it? They both teams think they can win this.
Absolutely, yeah. Batley are not out of this. Rovers have got the lead on the scoreboard, but Batley having the better of the second half. It's been a weird game, hasn't it? Rovers leading 12-0. But for large chunks of this game, Batley have been pretty good value. So they'll be disappointed that they've not managed to get a try as of yet.
Batley then, 20 metres out in front of the Rovers post, centre field. As Leake again takes it from dummy half. And no one seems to be controlling this game at the moment since he came back on, as Connor said. Leake plays the ball just 5 metres out. Batley come to the right. Walshaw tries a drive through, but Reynolds grabs the ankles. Tries another charge ball, this time through Luke Blake, but again the Rovers defence stays strong and hold up Luke Blake, who came on the charge. It's the last tackle, I think, Connor. Yeah, last tackle. So we're trying to fight around the video man, trying to watch what's going on. White with a kick to the corner. And Manning.
It's a try, Jaffa.
The ball bounces in the end goal. Gets the ball and gets his hand onto the ball and scores for Batley. Well, that's the pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He was coming. There's no two ways about it. Batley weren't going to score points. The more they kept attacking Rovers' line, simple as. It came on the last play. The ball's gone over Dane Manning, hit Connor Wynn's leg, and deflected off Wynn and got the ball down. And
they always say you make your own luck in a game of rugby, and that's what Batley have done right there, isn't it? They've made their own luck, and as you say, that bounce backwards to Manning. Just come over the announcer, but that's his 100th career try for Dane Manning, and very, very important try it could be.
If Ben White adds the extras here, it's only a 6-point ball game. So, with 15 minutes left on the clock, it's anyone's game. Batley have deserved that try. They've been the better team in the second half. And dare I say, in Jaffa, they were the better team for large chunks of the first half as well. So, work to do for Rovers. Massive work to do in this final 15 minutes.
So the kicking tee taking a while to get on for Batley at the minute, and Luke Cooper looks like he's returning to the field for Batley to finish off the last 14 minutes of this game. As Connor said, this game is still in the balance.
But it's Luke Blake who's come off for Batley. He's had a real dig since coming on. He's added some punch to this Batley pack. Luke Cooper will be hoping to maintain that. He's coming on and replaced him. Oh, he's missed.
Oh, he's missed. Oh, that could be dangerous. That
Massive
could be dangerous.
Is that from Ben White?
Ben White misses that conversion. So with just 14 minutes to go, it's currently Batley 4, Featherstone Rovers 12. Ben White missing. And I'm not going to lie, Connor, I nearly wrote down that on the score sheet. It was only to the left of the post, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's normally a decent kicker of the ball. Is White obviously missing Woods, who does most of kicking, but White in the past has stepped in and done a decent job. So a shot that he missed that one.
I tell you something, Luke Cooper came sprinting onto that ball from the back line there and took the ball out to the Batley 20. Batley with their tails up right now and looking to get a roll on down the hill like the Rovers did in the last 10 of the first.
And a couple of good drives there. Dane Manning, the try scorer, getting behind the markers, eating that space up there, and Batley approaching halfway already in this set.
White out the back, but slows right down. I think he knew he was going to have to surrender to the tackle as Lucas Walsh tried a breakthrough, but he got his line wrong there. Brandon Moore then takes the ball just over halfway. 3 Rovers men in the tackle. Ball comes to the blind side. And White kicks the ball down. Alforts receives the ball 30 metres away from the Rovers line.
Yeah, very good work there from Jimmy Beckett. The kick pressure on Ben White forced him into a rush kick, and eventually Alforts takes it with ease. But Jimmy Beckett, big pat on the back there.
And you can see in this set the Batley line speed. Dane Manning shooting out the line there. Cooper shooting out the line. They can taste something's on here, can't they, Batley?
Oh, they certainly can, and why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? Rovers have been scoring tries at will in recent weeks. We've only scored 2 today.
Oh, Ben Reynolds nearly breaks the line. A little offload. Dane Manning right across this side of the field. Rovers come blind. Akins. Great little ball there to Clay Webb, who gets tackled, but an offload once again to Akins. Just ties calming things down now with a drive with Jimmy Beckett taking Rovers 10 metres out from the line. Last tackle. Rovers go to the left through Glover and get tackled just short of the line. Again, good place to turn it over, but this is where Batley started the last one, and we gave away a silly penalty.
Yeah, just cast your mind back to a couple of plays, Jaffa. Ben Reynolds going through there. We want to see more of that, don't we? Ben Reynolds taking the line on. It nearly created some joy for Rovers there off the back of it. But no, listen, we're approaching the last 10 minutes now. 8-point lead. We've got to just do the basics right. We can't afford to be ill-disciplined and piggyback Batley upfield, or downfield, should I say.
Rovers have got to be squeaky clean here. Squeaky clean. They seem to be targeting Danny Addy. Got to keep his head. 20 metres out then from the Batley line. Bit of a poor play of the ball, but he's trying it again. His Leak, isn't he? He's trying to create something, trying to create chaos around the play of the ball. His Leak. White then to Ott, who gets his foot on the ball. Straight to Connor Wynn, but it luckily goes behind him there. That's twice now we've tried catching the ball above his head, and I've had to take a deep breath.
Yeah, he puts his hand. I mean, if he lets it go above his head, it's going out, and it's going to be a 40-20, so he had to make a play at it.
Is that a positioning issue, though? We've got to be in the right positions.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is. Yeah, he probably should be in a better position, but the kick is a good kick as well. Got away with one there because Connor Jones started in front of the ruck. He's
missed that one as a referee, I'll give you that. That's definitely a...
What's they saying? Is it downtown? Is it the downtown penalty?
Yeah, he's got to be behind the play of the ball, and he wasn't. But having said that, he's got to retrieve behind the original play of the ball, and he didn't he, to pick the ball up. So technically, he should be all right. He might have got it right. Well done to Mr. Lynn, the referee. Okay, Rovers then on the attack. Caleb Akins, ball out to the left. Glover goes forward, but gets tackled once again by solid Batley defence. Last tackle, Rovers 15 out. Alforts at the dummy half. Pass to Reynolds. Little grubber under the post. Could bounce anywhere. And he bounces into Rocky Hampshire's hands, who looks like he scored. The referee points to the spot. A great try. Well worked by Ben Reynolds. Great kick through. And Rocky Hampshire read it well. Got the bounce just under the post. And bounced right into his hands, and Rovers score under the post, right in front of the fans.
Needed that try, Jaffa. Needed that try. Perfect kick there from Ben Reynolds. You know, great weight on it, and Ryan Hampshire supporting his mate through the middle to ground it. It still needed finishing. You know, the ball was going to go out. Ryan Hampshire, last gasp play, gets his hand there and grounds the ball under the post. Reynolds will convert this, and that should be, Jaffa. That should be job done. It's been a tough gig this afternoon. We haven't been at our best. Batley have been very, very gutsy and not gone away. But it looks as though Rovers are going to get the 2 points, and come the end of the season, that could be a massive 2 points here this afternoon at Batley.
Yeah, I totally agree, Connor. That was one of those moments there where I just felt like even I took a breath, because it was one of those, thank God that's happened, because we've been under the pump today, and that is, I think, credit to Batley. I'm not gonna not take it. You've got to give it to Batley. They've absolutely taken the game to Fev today, and Rovers not at their best, but I think we're at that point of the season where I think Cookie would probably rather take the points over the performance.
Well, listen, we've played better and lost games this year. We've played better and lost games. So the fact that you know, we've not been at our best today and got the 2 points. That's the overriding thing. We don't look at the games where we've lost by 2 points this year and gone, oh, we played well them games, because we don't get any points from them. We just see that as a loss. These games here, you know, the 2 points at the end of the season, we're not going to look back at these 2 points and go, oh, we weren't at our best against Batley because we got the 2 points. That's the most important thing. Listen, there'll be elements of this that Paul Cook won't be happy with. But you know what? We've now got a couple of weeks off to rectify it before we play Doncaster, who are going well. So, you know, a couple of big weeks before Doncaster to kick on towards the back end of the season and make sure we are where we need to be, and that's in the top, in the playoffs and comfortable in there.
Okay.
Oh my God.
No. The kickoff. I was just about to say, Connor, we've got to complete after this this kickoff. Again, credit to White. What a kick. Just grubbled it along the ground, it bouncing. And Hampshire was ready for the ball, puts his foot out to stop it, and it goes underneath his foot.
Yeah, that's not his finest hour. He's just scored a try, and then he puts his foot over the ball as it's bouncing.
6.5 minutes to go then here at the Foxes Biscuit Stadium. It's currently Featherstone Rovers 18, Batley 4. Holds up in the wind, does that, and Rovers knock the ball backwards, but Brandon Moore is the first to react. I think he actually did whack that to go deep, but it held up in the wind. And Brandon Moore gets the ball, and Batley are just 10 metres away from the line. Batley come out to the right with Elliot Keir. Keir on inside ball to Aidan McCowan, who gets tackled. Batley just over 10 metres out from the Rovers line then. A really crazy dropout, what got held up in the wind, but Batley managed to get hold of the ball. Batley then get a 6 again now, just 2 metres away from the Rovers line. White tries an offload, but knocks on. Wow, Connor, that is pressure, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit too rushed and panicky there from Ben White. You know, they had tackles in the bank at Batley, and if they had have scored on that play, it would have been a nervous 5 minutes. But a big let-off for Rovers. You know, allowing the ball to go dead there. The second time they've done that with kickoffs. They're just the basics, aren't they? Which, you know, you can control them. You can control those aspects of the game, and we just haven't done that enough today. A little bit sloppy. And then when they do get the ball, giving away that 6 again then to invite further pressure. So, yeah, that is a massive let-off there that Ben White rushed that pass.
Well, I am going to say it this time. Rovers need to complete this set, Connor.
Yeah,
it's very important that we complete this set. Squeaky clean. Ball up the jumper time here at Batley this afternoon. Second tackle, Gaz Gale takes the ball forward. Connor Jones sees a gap from dummy half. Looks like Jubb's come back on, but playing at 13 at the moment, is he?
Yeah, I think he's just come on in the middle just to stiffen us up defensively. Connor Jones will stay around the dummy half area, but Jubb coming on. Just have that defensive steel, don't you?
Are Batley tiring, or is Connor Jones just seeing the gaps now, Connor? Because he's broke through twice in that set.
Well, they will be tiring because they've worked tremendously hard. So that's probably maybe why we've kept Connor Jones on the field, because as the Batley Pat tire, might be a bit more space for Jonesy to do his thing. But they're going to tire because they've worked tremendously hard.
Batley then bringing the ball out, a kick through, deflects off a Batley man and into the fullback's hands. So Batley bringing the ball forward. Great tackle there by Connor Jones, getting his hands dirty in the last 5 minutes here at the Foxes Biscuit Stadium. Just 4 minutes, in fact, for Rovers to hold out. White with his hands on the ball again, coming down the right side of Lucas Walsh. I think Walsh has had a decent game for Batley today, and I think Oliver Greensmith, Connor, on that left side, he's really got involved.
Yeah, I agree. They've both carried the ball really, really strong. Greensmith is a handful coming out from his own line. Just rolls his sleeves up. He's a big human, to be fair, with a bit of speed as well, so it goes really well for Batley.
Connor Jones brings the ball back well, though, from the kick through. Rocky Hampshire in at dummy half finds Gaz Gale, who takes the ball forward and pushes off the Batley defender Trott with a handoff. 40 metres away. Trott and Gale at each other, and the referee stops the game.
think he's telling Gaz just to go back a metre and play the ball, or is he just saying, listen, stop this, lads?
Yeah, taking control of the referee well.
I don't know, Jeff, I don't know about you, but if you feel the need to stop and tell players to do something, surely somebody somewhere is doing something wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, don't tell them. So I can never get my head around referees saying to players, you're offside. Well, give a penalty then.
Great drive then with Jimmy Beckett up the middle for Rovers. Danny Addy has hands on the ball. Again, taking it straight. He's not done much passing today, Addy. He's taking the ball straight every time he's had it. Last tackle, Rovers. Jones to Hampshire. Hampshire kick into the corner, up in the air. Render jumps for the ball and collects it well, but Hampshire's in there to tackle just 10 metres away from the line.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that about Addy not passing the ball as much. I think it's been a prime example of sometimes he's having to say, well, listen, we've got stuff on, but we'll have to cancel it, because at the end of the day, Rovers, they can't carry on like this, like they have done in certain areas where they've been giving the ball away and dropping it at certain points. So Addy has had to put the ball up his jumper and carry strong, so Rovers can look after the ball and get to the end of the sets.
So into the last 2 minutes of the game then, Connor. Who are we thinking as a potential standout man for Rovers today?
Oh, listen, I don't think there's been anybody that stood out in terms of I can say, oh, he's been outstanding. I think Jimmy Beckett's done some good stuff. The little 1%ers like we're seeing here, he's chasing the kicker. I think he's been really good for Rovers. This guy who's going to catch the ball now is just a man who's got that moment of class. And I think I'll probably give him the man of the match just because he scored that try in a massive period in the game. And that try's proved to be crucial, hasn't it? You know, Caleb scoring that try. So, yeah, he probably has been the better of the Rovers players. But listen, we've got the job done. We haven't had many standout players that have been head and shoulders above the rest. So, yeah, I'll give it to Caleb Aikens just.
So the game is teetering out a little bit here. We're into the last minute here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium with FRTV Live, bringing you a away match commentary here from Batley. Rovers then lead 18 points to 4 in a big game in this Betfred Championship and into a week off next week. That'll be good for the boys after this hit out.
Oh, that nearly came off, didn't it? Looking for another try. Yeah. Well, he's made a big mistake there as Clay Webb, because he's kicked the ball away and he's gifted Batley a 7-tackle set and a 20-metre restart because he kicked the ball away and it's gone dead.
So Rovers make a mistake, a rebound again off the kick from a Batley player, and then Rovers lose the ball.
Brace yourself for the hooter.
I think we've got a minute left here at Mount Pleasant. A scrappy Rovers performance, but much-needed 2 points. It's 2 points,
and as I said earlier in the game, we've played better at times this season and not got the 2 points. You know, Paul Cook was fuming after that Toulouse game when we didn't get the 2 points, and he spoke about how we needed to be better to get those important wins. Listen, we've got 2 points. That's a big thing today.
Jack Billington back on for Batley, taking the ball down the middle. White now, leak to White. I think the hooter is just about to go. The clock's saying 0 on the scoreboard as Walsh takes it down the right-hand side. Batley just 10 out from the Rovers line. Pass along the line, and White tries taking it on himself, but he fails, and great work there by, I think it was... getting the ball for Rovers, and as you can hear in the background, the full-time hooter has gone here in Batley. Featherstone Rovers 18, Batley 4 in a much harder fought game than we wanted today, Connor.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Jaffa, we're walking away with the 2 points. We'll go back to the Millennium Stadium with those 2 precious league points, which keeps us in the playoff spots. That is a key thing. Listen, we're going to a break now, a week off before a run of tough fixtures. You know, we've got Widnes, we've got Doncaster, we've got Widnes, we've got Oldham, we've got some big games coming up towards the end of the season. So this one was all about getting the 2 points. We've done that. Listen, let's kick on from here now and keep improving as we get towards the business end of the season.
So then Rovers coming out victorious here at Mount Pleasant, the Fox's Biscuit Stadium. Batley 4, Rovers 18. Thanks for joining myself, Jaffa and Connor on FRTV Live. Great 2 points taken back, and Elvis is going to be playing behind the main stand, and
Much to
Rovers.
John